bypassed, but actually beaten quite a number of reputable names. But without further ado, we're going to get this underway. And we're going to see the top 4, and as I mentioned before, at least one of these guys has secured a paid Worlds invite.
And for those of you who didn't see Alex yesterday, we saw Sam's team up on stream there. Alex's team is the Thunderous, Talonflame, Salamence, Xerneas, Groudon, and Smeargle.
Most definitely. So on Alex's end, we see the Xerneas and the Salamence, and on Sam's end, we see the Groudon and the Thunderous. So straight off the bat, interesting leads on both ends, where we've got the Xerneas and the Salamence. Obviously, Salamence firing off that Intimidate quite early on. That is going to go straight into that Groudon. And we do see that Thunderous also on Sam's side. When it comes to who's got the advantage here, who would you give it to, Matt?
I would give it to... Oh, that's a tough question. I think Salamence is... Salamence does not like facing off the Thunderous, so in terms, Sam's checked that Salamence. He has the Thunder Wave, he has the Taunt, he can use on the Xerneas to stop the Geomancy. Groudon, it's not going to like taking the Hyper Voices from, the Salamence. It's probably the slowest Pokemon out there in the field, but it can still do incredible damage to the Xerneas if it gets off, a physical attack. That said, the Intimidate from Salamence has reduced that, so it's a bit of a stalemate at the moment. It all depends what players elect to do.
Most definitely. So out comes the Xerneas, and we go into a Thunderous. So Thunderous beats Thunderous, and then we've also got the Salamence and the Groudon in play. So he does opt to stay in with Salamence. He is Mega Evolved. He does taunt Alex's Thunderous, so he does opt out, doesn't get the taunt on the Xerneas. He does go for that Hyper Voice, getting a decent amount of damage on that Groudon and getting a somewhat decent amount of damage. And we do see the Hidden Power Ice on that Groudon, and it does KO that Salamence. Very well played there by Sam.
It's fantastic play there. We saw Phil Newen earlier in the day with that stunt. It's good to see, players are actually opting for that, and it's it does help that I did say that Salamence is a favourable matchup against Groudon, but that all goes out the window if that Groudon is in Power Ice. Also, if you've seen that stream, that's a fantastic picture you've got there, Alex.
Indeed he does. Indeed he does. Only a face a mother could love. Oh no, I'm only joking. So yes, so we'd see now a bit of a mirror match here. We've got Groudon, and Thunderous. So we do see Sam's Thunderous fire off a Thunderbolt into Alex's Thunderous. Citrus Berry does activate there. We do see Alex then retaliate with his own Thunderbolt, and that does a decent amount there. We do see Sam go for the Earth Power onto Alex's Groudon. That does a decent amount, down to 3 HP. We see Alex now go for the Rock Polish now, and he's increased his speed by 2 stages. So that was an interesting play right there. I thought that was going to be a KO, but just the way it was going down, we're like, just lives.
Yes, we see, Sam, running the full special Groudon. That's something. It was something at the start of the season. It just dropped off a bit. Everyone was going with the Precipice Blades and the physical attacks, but there's a certain consistency with the Earth Power. You don't have to worry about a miss. It's a single target, so it's not blocked by a wide guard. Groudon is still an incredibly powerful special attacker.
So we do see that Groudon does get taunted, and in comes the Precipice Blades, and it does connect onto the Groudon, and it gets the KO there. So good move done by there. Alex has gotten rid of Sam's Groudon there. And all that was I reckon that Rock Polish really did pay off. It was able to hit first, and now he's retaliated and hit the Thunderous back, and the taunt has also worn off on the Thunderous as well.
So that's definitely an excellent position for Alex to be in. Though being said, though, so we have Sam's team. He has got the Kangaskhan. He does have the Voltool as well. We see both Pokemon here. Both Pokemon have priority attacks. They can bypass the speed boost from the Rock Polish there. And we did see him throw this taunt from his own Thunderous into the Groudon before he lost it. So he's basically checkmated the Groudon as far as being able to move is concerned. So he may have lost 2 Pokemon there, but Sam, as I mentioned earlier, one eye wants in front of him, one eye wants ahead.
Yep, most definitely. We can also expect to see a potential fake out as well that can be fired off from that Kangaskhan, which I would assume would be Mega Evolving. There would be no reason as to why he wouldn't Mega Evolve. So it's a bit of a tough spot for Alex at this point. So he is up 3-2, but it's still really anyone's game at this stage.
Yeah, so you know he did make a good effort trying to turn around after losing that Salmons, but he's just taken that ground tremendous damage from that earth power, and I think that's left him quite vulnerable towards to Sam's Kangaskhan and to Sam's ultimate back. So that's been strong play from Sam there, setting up an end game where he can come in and just finish everything off.
Most definitely. So we do see the protect come from the Thunderous. So just obviously making sure. We do see Groudon come in with the Fire Punch. So we do not see a priority move from anyone. And he does get the burn on the Kangaskhan. That is incredible. And we see the knockoff done through.
And we see him double into the Thunderous. That is
an overpredict that unfortunately didn't go in Sam's way at all. That burn really did matter, and wow, what a turn of events. That move has just shifted this match into Alex's favour.
Yes, even though I mean the any priority attack will still KO that Groudon, but it's still left. Oh, and we see the forfeit there. We see from Sam. He's obviously he obviously believes he doesn't have what it takes to go through. That Kangaskhan had at most 2 turns left in it. If he believes that I think if Sam believed that Alex had the Xerneas in the back, then his game was done. There was no way his Xerneas would be able to his Yveltal would be able to trump the Xerneas. So I think that's I think he's doing what I mentioned earlier in the day. He's drawn a line. He's lost that game. He's taken some out. He just wants to get over and done with, draw the line, and focus on the second game.
Most definitely. It's also about not revealing too much as well. So like he did have that nice little niche there where he had the hidden power that was the surprise KO on the Salamence. No doubt without it that he does have a few tricks up his sleeve, and he said, you know what, I think I'm going to keep these tricks to myself. I'm going to make the what I think is the most educated decision here, and I'm going to end the match, and obviously try not to give anything away by that. So. As I said, we do see both players there. They're ready to go into game 2 with Alex, as I said, just capitalizing on, and getting lucky.
Yeah.
Got lucky with that burn, and then Sam was unlucky when he doubled up into that Thunderous.
Yes.
And just with that overpredict. But we see both players going in with a with relatively clear head going into game 2. And as I said, it's anyone's game.
It's also a little interesting to note, these players were very quick to pick their Pokemon the first game. Here they took a bit more time. I think it took about a minute to get it over done with. But now we go into game 2 here.
Yep, most indeed. And I actually don't know which way this is going to go. Are they going to go similar leads? Are they going to mix it up? I kind of think that Sam's going to go in with a bit of a mix-up, but we do see Alex go again with the Salamence, and he does bring his Groudon this time. Sam has opted to go Groudon Kangaskhan, so we do know that Groudon is now specially based. That Intimidate isn't going to do much with that Groudon, but it is going to do something to that Kangaskhan. So he does get the attack drop there. We do see the Primal come into play here. Interesting to note that that was Alex's Primal that activated. Oh, sorry, no, my apologies. Sam's Primal that activated first, being that his Groudon would be slightly faster there. And then we see Alex's Groudon there. Noting also from the first game that he did have Rock Polish, so that's probably why his Groudon was a little bit slow. He does like to set it up and then invest in other things like attack or defense, bulk in general, and then go in for the sweep.
Yeah, it's certainly interesting. I mean, if Sam didn't have that hidden power, I'd say Alex has got a good lead here. Even though that Groudon can only focus on one or the other, it cannot take on both. So you'll have to pick and choose here if Alex can pick the right way.
So he's opting to actually stay in here. Be interesting to see what he does decide to go for. Kangaskhan is also Mega Evolving here. So interesting to see what will happen here. Kind of not sure. Salamence goes for the substitute, which is really interesting. So if he doesn't go for that, hidden power ice, that could be a little bit of trouble for Sam. He does go for the power up punch, so does get one attack boost out of that. We will see if he goes for that hidden power ice. He doesn't. He goes straight for the earth power. He doesn't want that Groudon in there. And based on the last game, that is going to be a KO on his Groudon. Yeah,
that was a very, very intelligent play there by Sam, doubling into that Groudon. And not only that, he knew that his own Groudon was faster. He knew they could bring it down to at least over 90, less than 5% of its health. And that little chip damage again from Power Up Punch, not only would that give him the extra 5% he needs to get over the line, but also give himself a +2 Kangaskhan.
+1 and Intimidate.
+1, thank you for it. And that's, you know, that is a lot of heavy firepower at his disposal now.
Yeah, most definitely. So Sam with a taking the command in this game, but Alex does have the sub up with his Salamander. He does go for that hyper voice. It is going to do a decent amount to that Kangaskhan. It is critical on the Kangaskhan. So he goes for the double edge. He's going to opt to go into that Xerneas. Oh my goodness, that is a critical hit. So the Hax is on his side for that. We'll see what that Groudon does go for. That is going to do a lot of damage on that Kangaskhan. It does go for the hidden power. That is going to break that sub without a doubt. So, yeah, interesting. Unfortunate with that critical hit there.
Yes, Sam is, even with the critical hit though, Kangaskhan still had the follow-up attack from the parental bond, so it's likely that would have been a KO regardless of the crit. But it's interesting to note he's now... Alex is in a good position here. You know, that Thunderous isn't going to be able to do much to the Groudon. Kangaskhan is still at +1. Groudon's likely going to be able to take another Hyper Voice and has hidden Power Ice to knock out the Salamence. So Sam in a very strong position here, almost, you know, has almost shut Alex out of the game completely. So yeah, it'll be interesting to note if Alex has got any, you know, tricks he might be able to get around with. He fails.
Okay, so fails with. Okay, so he's going for the Thunder Wave on that Kangaskhan. Interesting choice there. Obviously wanting to make sure that that did go last there. He is going for that double edge. He's opting to go for that Groudon, and it does get the KO with the critical hit. So he returns the crit. So Hax favouring Alex on that. So well played on that.
That was good play there. You know, we saw Sam sucker punch the Kangaskhan fail. He was obviously trying to go for the Thunderous, just in case the Thunderous tried to, you know, get a bit of chip damage. But so Sam still has the lead of Pokemon though. He's still up 3-2, and both of Alex's Salamence is damaged. So it'll be interesting to see what happens next.
Yeah, most definitely. So we do see that Alex does have a bit of damage on his Salamence. Thunderous is full HP. From memory from Game 1, I do believe that Sam's Thunderous is faster than the other one. So there you go. So we do see the taunt come into play here. Kangaskhan gets the full paralysis, which is unfortunate. And Salamence does go for that Hyper Voice. It is going to KO the Kangaskhan, do a bit of damage on that Thunderous as well. So now it is 2v2. Thunderous does fire off a Thunderbolt, and it goes and connects with Sam's. So that's interesting to see. So it is now it's a bit more level now, in my opinion.
It's unfortunate for Sam. He's played himself in such a strong position, only to be undone by the paralysis. That Thunderous, I believe, would be within range of another Hyper Voice from Salamence there. It'll be interesting to see what happens here. So we see the Yveltal Sucker Punch here, going for the Salamence.
Ooh, it hangs on by a slither with 6 HP. Salamence is able to fire off another Hyper Voice, which is going to do some damage and KO that Thunderous. And we're going to see a return with a Thunderbolt from the Thunderous.
And I think that might be enough.
That might be enough indeed. And that is game. Alex Poole is going to the finals with a convincing 2 games to 0.